Today I want to talk about the correct positioning of the grip when we take hold of the club. Now this is really quite key to ensuring that the club face returns square to the target at impact with the ball, that all important moment of truth when colliding with the ball, and to allow that to happen at speed. Now when we talk about positioning, we're really sort of referring to the angle that the hands are put on the handle. Okay, are they more clockwise? Are they more anti-clockwise? What's the right position for a nice straight shot? Now, I guess the first thing to say is there isn't one perfect grip that's out there for every single one of you. Okay, this is where we've got to do some careful experimentation, explore what happens when we move the hands into different positions, what happens to the flight of the ball. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of guidelines here that should help you to find your natural hitting position when you set up to the ball, the correct grip for you. Now, when it comes to the lead hand, okay, I want you to put it onto the handle and look for the V that's formed between the thumb and the forefinger. Okay. We're going to try and get this to be somewhere between chin, here, and the right shoulder. Should be about here. Okay. So I'm gonna just show you quite a neutral position first. So sort of midway between the chin and the right shoulder. Okay. Now that tends to help me get the face squarely, consistently. But there'll be players out there that need to have that lead hand in a slightly different position to me. Okay, there'll be those of you out there who will benefit from having the lead hand further to the right of the handle. Okay, now this will mean that the V is pointing much more over towards that right shoulder. Okay, often a great position if you're a slicer, you can move it further to the right of the handle. The reason that will help you is it makes it a lot easier to return the club face squarely. Now, for me, if I move my hands a little bit too far to the right, that'll have the effect of closing the face. Okay, so obviously that would result in shots that would curve a little bit too much to the left. And on the opposite side of the coin, should I position that lead hand in a way where the V is pointing much more up towards the chin, or even slightly left of it here, often termed as an open-faced hold, face left hand. The danger might be now that when I come back to my natural hitting position, this club face is aiming too far to the right in an open-faced position. So of course, that open-faced position is really going to create shots that bend out to the right there. Okay, so pay a lot of attention to where you're positioning that lead hand when you set it up. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the right hand. Let's keep this nice and simple. Once you've got your lead hand on there, just bring your right hand onto the club. Okay, one thing I'd love to see you doing is just making sure that when it meets the golf club, your palm is facing towards your target. Okay, so we're just trying to make sure the angle that the right hand is nice and neutral too. I'm just going to close that onto the club there. Okay, and that's going to match nicely with my lead hand on the club. Okay, a good analogy for that right hand, okay, is if I had a gun in my hand, I was just firing a gun towards someone, okay, and then if I sort of pull that down and imagine I was firing that pistol towards the ball, that's the sort of angle that I want to see your right hand in. So, spend a bit of time on the positioning. Let's be as precise as we can with it, because let's remember, it is what makes sure that the club face returns to impact, square to the target for those straight shots.